Imagine downloading a single file and instantly getting everything you've ever wanted in a football game. Stunning visuals, amazing gameplay, and over 450 stadiums from all over the world. That's the promise of Fanurex Overhaul. But does it actually deliver? When I first downloaded this 350GB mod pack, my reaction was, no way this lives up to the hype. But after just 1 week, I am completely hooked. Today we are diving deep into Fanurex Overhaul, a newly released mod pack that completely transforms Pro Evo 21. It's packed with everything you could dream of in a football game. Ultra-realistic stadiums with custom lighting and authentic TV camera angles, real banners, scoreboards, chants, updated kits, and gameplay so freaking immersive that it feels like you are controlling a live match on TV. And here's the kicker. Whether you are a hardcore manual gameplay fan or prefer a mix of manual passing and assisted shooting, Fanurex delivers the most refined football experience. But this is not just a mod, it's a standalone version of the game, which means that you don't need to own Pro Evo 21 or even have Football Live installed on your PC. No modding knowledge is required either, it's all pre-installed and ready to go. All you need is 350GB of hard drive space and passion for football. So stick around, because after playing this overhaul non-stop for a week, I'm convinced it might just be the ultimate version of Pro Evo ever made. Let me show you why. Normally I would kick things off with the gameplay, but this overhaul is so jam-packed with content that it's only fair to start here. Now I know what you're thinking, 350GB? Dude, my hard drive just filed for a restraining order. And yeah, it's a massive chunk of storage. But trust me, there is a reason for that size. It's bursting with everything you could possibly want in a football game. And what makes this overhaul so special is its simplicity. It's all in one package, which means no spending hours hunting down separate mods, risking a bricked installation, or pulling your hair out learning how to mod the game for yourself. You just download it, unzip it, and everything is pre-installed and ready to go. It's like unwrapping a ready-made Christmas gift where everything inside works perfectly out of the box. Of course, not all of the content is custom made by the Fanurex team. They have collaborated with other mod creators with full permissions to pull together the ultimate collection of mods. So what exactly do you get here? Let's start with the stadiums, 450 of them, courtesy of Virtua Red. That's right, 450. Beyond the classics from England, Italy, and Spain, you will find hidden gems like Danish stadiums and even venues from countries like Congo or Ghana. Oh, and do you want to dive into Argentinian football? No problem, you've got like 31 stadiums from Argentina alone. And it's not just cut and paste job. Many stadiums feature custom lighting and turf textures, which add to the realism. Plus, some of them come with team-specific stadium cameras, designed to mimic the broadcast angles you would see on TV. Playing a match here feels like you are watching a live broadcast. If you are a Premier League fan, you are in for a treat. Teams have updated tunnels that make pre-match scenes look even more authentic. And updates for other leagues are already in the works. Then there's the commentary. Depending on the competition, you will hear different commentators. John Champion calls the shots for some matches, and for others you have the usual suspects. But if you're playing in a French competition, you will hear French commentary, which adds a whole new layer of immersion. And it doesn't stop there. You get like 630 boots with custom player assignments. Kits are also crafted to fit snugly on updated player models, which have been fine-tuned to look more like their real-life counterparts. And then throw into the mix authentic scoreboards, chants, and more, and you've got a football game that feels super alive. Now, if I had one tiny gripe, it's the lack of clashman tactics. Those are fluid formations tactics which add an extra layer of depth and fluidity to team strategies, as I talked about in a previous video. But don't worry, the developers have already confirmed that this will be included in a future update. And I don't know about you, but I'm counting down days for that addition. The bottom line here is that if you can think of a mod you would want in Pro Evo 21, odds are it's already here in Fanurex Overhaul. And the best part? There's even more on the horizon. The next update should bring a sound overhaul for even better audio immersion, realism upgrades for Master League and Become a Legend modes, new managers for Master League, and improved rosters to expand squads. All in all, this is not just a mod pack, it's a football fan's dream come true, and it should only get better with time. Alright, now let's dive into what really makes this overhaul shine the brightest, the gameplay. Trust me, there's a lot to unpack here. First things first, the Fanurex overhaul is tailored for manual controls, especially manual passing. Sure, manual shooting is optional, and assisted shots actually work really well with this mod, but passing manually? That's the real game changer. See, the gameplay engine has been reworked by mods developers to make manual controls feel more intuitive and rewarding. Now, I get it, not everyone likes manual controls. Manual controls can be intimidating, especially manual shooting. It's a whole new level of precision required from player, and for many of you, that learning curve might feel more like a brick wall. But hear me out, don't give up too soon. Give manual passing a solid try. Stick with it for a few matches, and you'll start to see the magic unfold. Suddenly, your passes will connect with pinpoint accuracy, and the satisfaction you'll feel absolutely unmatched. Personally, I've been slowly transitioning to full manual controls with this mod, and while I still have matches where I completely botch my plays, the fun outweighs the frustration. Cause here's the thing, manual controls amplify the highs and the lows. A perfect play feels like a stroke of genius, while a mistake can sting a bit more. But isn't that exactly what makes football so damn exciting? Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about how the gameplay actually feels. I have experimented with quite a few FUMA-oriented gameplay mods in the past, but they always had some limitations to how the game felt. And that's where Fanurex has set a new standard for me. It's crisp, responsive and buttery smooth. This overhaul builds on Holland's gameplay mod, but doesn't just stop there. The developers deconstructed it and revamped it entirely to elevate the experience to a whole new level. First thing that stood out for me was the player individuality. I know in the past I have praised Football for Life 4.4 gameplay mod for making players feel unique, but honestly, Fanurex blows it out of the water in this regard. The difference between players is more pronounced than ever. When a fast player gets ahead, defenders don't magically catch up unless they have the stats to back it up. Physical attributes matter here as well. Players with high dribbling and balance stats hold their ground in duels so much better than in other modes. I have had moments where my player kept control of the ball in situations where in other modes it would have been a guaranteed turnover. The result? Goals that feel hard-earned and incredibly satisfying. Now let's talk about randomness, the good kind. If you've played Pro Evo 21 before, you probably noticed how scripted certain deflections or collisions can feel, right? But not here. In Fanurex Overhaul, the ball behaves like a true free agent on the field. I have scored goals that just wouldn't happen in other gameplay modes. Like that one time, a defender snatched the ball from me, but accidentally collided with their own goalkeeper, leaving me with an open net. Or let's take the ricochet shot that had a mind of their own, creating moments of unpredictable situations that made the game feel alive. Sure, sometimes this randomness leads to a bit of a chaos, but it's the kind of chaos that makes football exciting. Another huge improvement are fouls. Referees here are on point, calling a realistic amount of fouls for both teams. In way too many other mods, fouls can feel either non-existent or wildly inconsistent, but here they are a natural part of the game. That said, you will need to be careful on defense. Racking up fouls is surprisingly easy if you're a bit too aggressive. I've had matches with over 15 fouls on my side, which, yeah, it can feel a bit too much. Another notable trick is the nerf to pressing. The computer no longer feels like it's hounding you for 90 minutes straight, which allows for more balanced and realistic flow to your possessions. On the flip side, your own defensive tools have been slightly toned down as well. Secondary defender pressure is less effective, meaning you will need to be smarter about your positioning. Add in the mix the fouls that I just discussed, and you've got a defensive system that rewards careful planning over brute force. Next up, we gotta talk about goalkeepers, because they have also been reworked and feel just right. Top tier keepers are excellent here, without being godlike, and they occasionally make mistakes, adding to the authenticity of the game. This ties in beautifully with improved shooting mechanics. See, the shots feel powerful and precise, making scoring goals immensely satisfying. Even as someone still learning manual shooting, I can tell this system is built for thrilling, jaw-dropping goals. And then we have the midfield, which is a battleground in Fanurex Overhaul. It feels more packed than in other iterations of the game, making possession harder to maintain. This adds a layer of strategy, especially when facing teams with strong midfield. There's a noticeable gap in how the game plays depending on your opponent. Against weaker teams, I can dominate possession and dictate the pace. But against top tier squads with great possession tactics, I've been pushed back into low possession percentages, struggling to keep up. This makes every match feel fresh and dynamic. Plus, you have more realistic number of shots per match, so it's kinda a win-win. To sum it up, the Fanurex Overhaul delivers what I believe is the ultimate football experience in a video game. If you are willing to put in the effort to learn manual controls, this overhaul will reward you with gameplay that's as satisfying as it is immersive. Trust me, once you experience it, there's no going back. But, just like anything in life, this overhaul is not without its flaws. While the developers have done an incredible job, there are a few things that could be refined in future updates. First, let's talk about stamina. Players get drained way too quickly, especially by the 70th minute, and this is particularly noticeable with those operating on the wings. Even without fluid formations, which by the way usually eat up stamina even faster, players seem to tire out a bit sooner than I would expect. Another issue I faced involved technical hiccups. The pre-installed reshade had some quirks and I ran into a few bugs along the way. Fortunately, the developers are highly active on Discord server and quick to help sort out problems. Most of the issues that I have seen on the server are due to users not carefully following the setup instructions, so if you do try Fanurex Overhaul, make sure to read and follow those directions really closely. And lastly, there is a bit of the roster depth issue. While squads are updated to current rosters, many teams that I have checked have thin benches, with either very few or no reserve players at all. This becomes a problem in Master League, especially given the stamina concerns that I just mentioned earlier. That said, this should be addressed in the upcoming 2.0 release, which will include the Player Overhaul Project roster, a feature I am genuinely excited for. All in all, despite these few shortcomings, Fanurex Overhaul is a phenomenal all-in-one package for Pro Evolution Soccer 21 fans. What makes this overhaul stand out is how it caters to players who may not want to dive too deep into modding, but still crave a rich and polished experience. Over the past week, I've spent most of my gaming time with this version of the game, whether it's testing different teams in friendly matches or diving into Master League with my favorite squads. At its best, Fanurex Overhaul delivers a captivating football experience packed with high-quality content. So, if you have 350 GB of hard drive space to spare, and you are open to trying manual controls, I can't recommend this mod pack enough. It might just be the game-changing experience you've been looking for. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you drop a like. It helps a lot for content to reach more people which in turn helps to spread the word about cool games like this one. I've got more football gaming content planned, so if that's your thing, consider subscribing to my channel. Anyway, that's all from me in this video. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.